Whoa, that's a lot of stuff. When should we go live?
I think we are, Drosy.
No, we're in the waiting room.
We are in this channel, but hey, welcome everybody to this race between MrScruffNinja from Hyrule Track and Field and the Worldwide Wimpy of Land of the Blind. I'm here with Drosy1 and our tracker, Kono.
Hey, and we're apparently live, and sorry about that confusion. How are you doing tonight, Rive? Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to see this race. I've been looking forward to this actually all day because this is a crazy setup with Key Sanity and the spoiler log. So it's something fairly new to me, and I'm learning so much from watching these races and talking about them.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hectic first few minutes, I'll say that much. And we are about to kick the runners off, so well, let's see how this all works because we're getting the spoiler log at the same time the pilots do, and we're gonna have to fill in all the stuff on the tracker, like pendants and crystals and everything.
Yeah, the spoiler log is not available to any of the racers or the pilots specifically until the races can actually go. So the racers are probably going to hit some chests real quick in Sanctuary or Link's house or whatnot, while the pilots get their first read and then send them on their way.
Yeah, so the racers basically have to do a normal first couple of minutes of their open seed while the pilots process the log.
I see the timer has started on MrScruffNinjaTuna. That doesn't seem right because he's still on the naming screen. Is the restream not catching his stream correctly? Is that maybe paused?
Or maybe he decided to wait while his pilot processes what's in the log. That's a possible strategy.
Maybe. And World of Wimpy picked up magic powder in Sanctuary and is now making his way. Well, that seems like a very directed path, so they probably already know something.
And just to fill you in on what we have for the map, since we're not going to see map checks, it's all in the log. Eastern Palace is a vanilla green pendant today. The other pendants are Thieves and Turtle Rock. And the 5-6 crystals are Desert and Skull Woods. And the only medallion they'll be needing today is Ether, which opens both Turtle Rock and Mire.
Only one medallion, can be even faster than the normal. Of course, setting up the Houlihan to get that quick cash, getting that out of the way. It's something that the runners can do to keep busy while the pilot's reading.
Oof, so what happened to Scruff there?
Yeah, we're sitting, getting some technical issues on the side of Hyrule Track and Field.
So we'll follow.
Bottle.
Yeah, we'll follow Wimpy for a while, and hopefully the technical issues will sort themselves out within a few minutes. But just to make it clear, this is key sanity, so the pilots have to keep track of all the keys that the runners are going to need, in addition to all the items they'll need to get through the crystal dungeons.
Which is why I want to do an extra shout out to our tracker already, Kono Tyrant. He's also tracking all the big keys and the small keys, which will show up on the tracker as well. You can see those. Actually, the first one is going to show up because he found a Dark Palace key there from Uncle, and he's been doing a great job marking all those down because it's so much to follow.
Now, that key from Uncle was a pod key, and that brings up an interesting point where, with a spoiler log race, there's 6 small keys to pod. You're probably not going to need all of them. You have to basically figure out how many keys you actually need. The minimum is 2 to just go straight for Helmasaur if you don't need anything out of pod. There's just 2 locked doors there. Sorry, go ahead.
And even if you need something extra, depends on where it is, the routing. For example, if something's in the dark room on the left side, if your racer is open to just not using a key and using Bomb Yum to get over there, well, that's one less key that you have to go route in.
Right. And I was just thinking, technically, you only need one small key if you want to route through the Bolocked side, but that takes a lot longer than opening the middle door. So if you can get an extra key that's like anywhere nearby. Oh, and there's the flute in Blindside.
That's a very targeted movement. He just... Oh no, he's picking up the other chests anyway. While his pal's probably reading the next part. He knew the flute was there, so then he's spending some time. Who knows what else he'll pick up.
Yeah, it's a good way to get a bomb supply in any case. That's probably why he went over there. His pilot was probably like, oh, by the way, there are some more bombs. You might want to grab them.
Also, a flute, while already in Kakariko, that speeds up your race so much.
Oh, yeah, you can just activate it before you even leave. And there's another pod key.
And the hookshot, and the flippers.
Geez, we're halfway to swamp access.
Well, we've got a couple more things to go. Mirror, gloves, another gloves, or hammer.
Well, I mean, I'm not counting that we need Dark World access as well.
Ah, yeah, okay, then yes. Too bad we don't hear the Hylian national anthem. All right, somebody in chat saying that MrScruffNinja is setting up his. It needs to restart his OBS again, but of course he's gonna do that when it fits him, because he's of course not gonna spend valuable race time on doing that if he can avoid it. Maybe while he's doing his own flute theme song.
Yeah. Hopefully that's long enough, and if not, there's always like a crystal grab after finishing a dungeon.
Yeah, that's hopefully also a good point. Yep. Heading out of Kakariko, though, that's dense area of items done. Not caring about the library and going straight into racing game.
Wonder what we have in the race. Clearly something useful.
Yeah, that's one of the things I find funny about commentating on these races. We're wondering. Well, I am, because I'm actually not looking at the spoiler log. I like being surprised a bit, and so I'm wondering what's over there, and that's the fire rod. But they know what's there.
And with Skullwoods being a crystal, we absolutely need that fire rod.
But luckily for them, Turtle Rock's a pendant for one, so that's something that they can, hopefully for them, unless pedestal needs to be routed in, pass up on. Always takes so long, Turtle Rock. What's your favorite dungeon to have as a pendant, though? Well, it looks my co-commentator is fallen out for a moment.
Sorry. Behind the scenes, we're trying to figure out what to do about Scruff's feed. Sorry, you were asking, though?
I was wondering, what is your favorite dungeon to have as a pendant? Because right now we have Turtle Rock as a pendant, so we can't have Ice Rod Hunt, unless they, of course, need bed. But I guess they might already know that. But if for any dungeon to have as a pendant,
Oh, yeah.
what's your favorite?
TR is by far the best to have as a pendant dungeon because, you know, Ice Rod, you need at least 3 small keys and the big key. It's saving a lot of trouble. Oh, and there's Scruff.
All right, we're getting Goomba running around Death Mountain. So that's some interesting route divergence. They both clearly did Kakariko because they both have the hook shots, and World War Wimpy has made his way down. He's picking up Ether there, while MrScruffNinja has made his way to Darkness Mountain. So I'm wondering, what are they going to be picking up in those locations that made them choose that route?
Yeah, I mean, clearly there's stuff up here on Death Mountain. Oh, right, and that flute nicely gave us access, too.
Yep, he activated that, and while he was activating it, he restarted his OPS, it sounds like. It's just still a bit, getting still a little bit of stuttering still, but I mean, it works. We got literacy on Scruffy. So maybe they need tablets, or wait, let's have a look. Desert Palace is 5-6, so maybe they need to get in there quick. And Worldwide has also made his way onto Death Mountain now. In the meantime, he has picked up that glove, so I'm wondering, is that what he went for? That glove, was that a priority? Do they save time routing that in early, or are they gonna lose a little bit of time if Ninja can pick up that later?
Oof.
Oof.
I don't think that was an intentional death.
Those cabbages are brutal, man.
Yeah, and they ignore armor, so doesn't matter what you have, they're taking 1 heart.
And in these pilot runs, they often have so little health already, and if that's a bad setup, if they're mean, then you're gonna get got.
So the Meyer big key reminds me we should talk about which big keys are actually required here. Swamp Palace and Skullwood's big keys are hard not required. You only need them if you need to get something out of the big chest. Ice Palace, as long as you bomb jump or do Icebreaker, you don't need it. And Tower of Hera, as long as you Herapot, you don't need it.
Yep. That's complete list. So now they've already, well, no, not they've both. Scruff has picked up the Misery Mire big key, which is of course needed, and then Desert Palace is also needed. So
and Pod will be needed.
And Pod will be needed. Yes. Since they already have the excuse me, since they already have the hook shot, there's a very good chance that if they can avoid it, they'll probably avoid the Hera key, because I'm sure both these races are capable of doing the Hera pot. They've probably been practicing it ever since it's been discovered, so that shouldn't be an issue. And then wherever the small keys are. Now we're seeing Scruff do the route that Worldwide Wimpy did earlier, so no new information here.
And Wimpy, conversely, is covering Scruff's old territory. It's always interesting to see how runners and their pilots choose to optimize the routing. I mean, once you have the flute, it's really 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You can flute to wherever you want first, and it's just a matter of what items you get from one might make the other easier.
Well, that sword is something nice to have. Personally, if hookshot is of course a fantastic weapon, but if I can have a sword, it's just a comfort. So I personally would have gone for the dam choice as well, but then again, I'm not very good at this game.
And just looking at chat, thank you, Oro, for the tier 1 sub. We just got affiliate status for these channels last week, so it's great to have you on board, and we should have some emotes available for subscribers soon. Just putting in a plug for that.
Yeah, all these channels delivering all these awesome speed gaming content. It's an amazing thing.
So Scruff heading into desert already. I do not see the big key on. Right.
We're both like, we see him go to the edge, and we're both looking. Does he have that? Wait, no, he does not. Maybe he's gonna be in there.
But he went to the trouble of getting the small key, so that means there's got to be something on right side, and he's going straight for right side. And it must be something important, because Wimpy's doing the same thing.
Yeah, this is exciting for us. They already know what they're getting, but I'm ready to be surprised here. That's the hammer. There you go. That's definitely worth a trip.
And the Hera big key. So
Well,
either Scruff doesn't feel comfortable Hera potting, or there's something in the Hera big chest.
I'm mostly gonna go with the second, but maybe a little of the first, because being able to Herapot and being able to Herapot under pressure are two different things. Just execution under pressure is immediately so much harder.
So Wimpy's thinking here.
Yeah, just hanging out there for a bit with that statue. Another check from Scruff that we've seen from Wimpy, but he hasn't made the way all the way to Zora, I think. But of course, they don't have the money for it, and hopefully, then it's not required.
Well, if Zora were required, their pilot would probably send them where they need to be for getting more rupees before they go there.
Or if they can't really find it or it's not easily accessible, tell them, hey, do another Houlihan or something along those likes. Easy cash.
Yeah. At a minimum, you need cash for Kiki since Pod is a crystal.
Now, will we be going back up Death Mountain? Actually, both of them going back up Death Mountain into those caves that they've already been in. So they're going up. So I'm wondering what they're going to go do there that they couldn't do before.
The Tower of Hera, because they didn't have that hammer or the mirror for access.
Of course, they're going to do the Hera now. No, they don't really need the hammer, though. Oh, wait, they're coming in from the right side. Of course,
yeah.
Because I'm so used to going in with the mirror. Because of course I'm a scrub. Now they're just running in.
Yeah, you need either the hammer or the mirror to get to Tower of Hera. Though if anything's on the tablet, we don't know about it because they don't have the Master Sword yet.
Well, yeah, and I don't think they're gonna go have a look because they already know. Looks like he's setting up a Herapot here.
Yeah.
While Wimpy's just running right through. And this is actually interesting. Seeing those two things at the same time really shows you how much time it saves if done swiftly. If not done swiftly, it doesn't save that much time.
Well, and bootless Herapod is definitely harder to set up. You can see how much buffering Scruff does, but he gets it the first time.
That was really clean.
And we have a French vanilla moon pearl in the compass chest there.
And yes, so you see, he actually lost a little bit of time going through that because of all the pause menu of how slow that opens.
Which also means that he kind of cost himself getting that Tower of Hera big key, which, since they skipped the big chest, they clearly only had that as a safety. Well, Wimpy actually used it. But yeah, that on the balance, that worked out better for Wimpy because Scruff took the time to grab the big key and then did Herapot. But we can see that Scruff made up some time with a more efficient Moldorm fight.
Yeah, he was on that tail with that hammer very quickly. So that's 16 minutes and 50 seconds, I think it was, both on the board with their first crystal.
Yeah, and we'll probably see a lot more coming up shortly. We have our Dark World access, for instance. And with that Fire Rod, they can, and half magic, they can probably do a pretty good Moth fight with Fire Rod, since you really don't want to fight Moth with the Fire Sword or Hammer. Fighter Sword or Hammer.
I was about to say they can go right in there, although I see 4 hearts on them, and my heart's already panicking. 4 hearts on Modula, it's so scary for me. I've seen where it can go badly, a misstep, and it's, especially in green mail, you go down fast. but they are doing it as you said. I mean, from where they are, it seems like the logical choice. If they can do it, then they should.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe there's a blue mail back here or something, but yeah, Moth on 4 hearts is nerve-wracking.
For me, it's nerve-wracking on 10 hearts with blue mail. But that's why these players are here in these leagues, and I am not.
Well, and the other thing is, if you're playing Spoiler Week, you have to have some ability to do low percent because you can't rely on, picking up 10 heart containers.
Yeah, if you do that, you lose too much time, and the other team's gonna pass you by. Scruff going to that chest in the back gets a that cape can of course help, but not really here if they're gonna use the fire rod. Oh no, he death warps because that's faster than running back, of course. Well, I appreciate the trust that people in chat have in me, but seeing as how my fastest ever randomizer is long, I'll put it like that. I think that's not really a thing for me yet. Who knows? Maybe in the future if I have practiced more. And like chat points out, picking up that cape most likely points to something being on bumper or spike. I beat you to it, Vortex. I mean, they're right there. Picking up the cape just for safety on certain boss fights while you're doing them with low percentages, that's a comfort, I guess. It definitely can help.
Well, this is a tough fight, and you really can't take it. But hey, all the lag is helping. Oh, and Wimpy takes a death.
It's hit twice, you're done. Every hit makes you lose 2 hearts. Every hit from Mothula, the spikes deal 1.
Oh, and Scruff takes a death too. Goomba gets stomped for 100 points.
I saw the skin Scruff has it's the first time I see that skin. I love when he gets bunnied. The good old 8-bit version, really well done. Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, Rossi, but he actually used his potion in the middle of that fight, so now he's gonna go back in, but without that.
Oh, I absolutely noticed that. That's why, there was nothing to save him from getting hit. Otherwise, he would have, used the potion that he'd already used.
That's that much more pressure because, of course, now it really is just the 4 hearts and nothing more.
And I think Wimpy forgot that he doesn't have the Titan's mitts yet.
Not quite yet, no.
I wonder if Moth's holding the Titan's mitts, and that's why they went over here.
I can appreciate the choice that they made to do Mothula later when when it's an easier setup. Maybe stronger sword, maybe more health. Choosing not to risk that time, that's a big difference between what the two teams have decided now, and can really make a difference. And there goes Mothula for Hyrule Track and Field.
And that's a GT small key. Always nice to get one of those before going up. Though you can always steal one from the room 2 to the left downstairs.
Yeah, there's a skull there with a key. And we've got Worldwide going into Aga Tower. Now
that's interesting. There must be something. Oh no! Right, this is key sanity, so you can get items.
Yep. And well, that's exactly what you said. You said no, they forgot to actually pick up the Titans, so now he's sending them 2 there, so that now he can go use them.
And it looks like Scruff is about to do the same thing. Oh no, he hasn't gone to Uncle yet.
Indeed, he has not, so he's gonna quickly go pick that stuff up.
Right, we didn't see his first 7 minutes, so we didn't know that he hadn't gone to Uncle.
That's also important. Key and the rocks on Death Mountain being brutal again to Worldwine.
Yeah, like, I think it might even make sense to, rescue the old man, invest that time once, and then you have the save point.
Well, yeah, that's actually a very good point. That just saves you that little bit of time. But the question is that worth the time? Because if the old man doesn't have anything you need, that's so much time spent. It's risk reward. You take the risk of not having the save point, but if you don't need it, that saves you that much time. But then again, this can happen.
Yeah, I mean that's 3 deaths that Wimpy's taken at this point, so I think it probably would have come out better for him if he had rescued the old man and had just been able to restore there, because then you also don't need to pull up the heart because you can just talk to him for the health refill.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. That would have been in his advantage of doing that. But then, now the question is, do you do that, or are you just invested?
Right, well, that's the problem with marginal cost. Oh, he's using the cape. He's not risking anything this time. That totally makes sense.
And that's why you pick up the cape, folks.
Well, that, and we still haven't seen the Master Sword, so it was their only way to get into Aga Tower to get those mitts.
And once again, the pilots leading their racers to the same location. Oh, not quite the same location. Looks like Scruffy's going to go up through Paradox Cave first.
Actually, he changed his mind.
So some miscommunication there, apparently. I guess Superconic Cave is fast to just enter from the bottom and just get your stuff.
I mean, a lot of people, we have a lot of new teams who, if they didn't play in the league last year, oh, and there's our Master Sword. But if they didn't play in the league last season, they probably haven't done too many pilot spoiler races. Now, both of these runners were in the league last season, but still, it's been however long, and they had to, get used to doing it with their teammates again.
And I can see this being something that takes a while to actually get used to.
There's another pod key.
And the mirror. All right, well, Swamp Palace, let's go.
Yep, that's all we need for Swamp.
Well, that flute's coming in. Let's see if he goes there. Nope,
now,
it's pod time.
The interesting thing is that was a 3rd pod key, so that gives us access to the back of pod as well.
Chat points out makes a good point. They don't have the first key for Swamp yet, so going there would be a bit of a waste of time.
Oh, right. Yes, well, another nice feature of Key Sanity that besides the usual 4 items you need for Swamp, you need that small key. It's the small key that works like a big key.
A key that's gotten too big for his britches. Little route diversions as well here, with getting the red cane there in Meyer's shed.
And the bow in Saha's closet, that's kind of convenient, put the dungeon item just outside the dungeon instead.
I feel like they could have done that in vanilla, that would have been nice.
Probably too nice.
You're right, this still is Nintendo we're talking about. Can't be too nice. And there's the other bow.
So I think both runners will have silvers.
I'm wondering, did he pick that up over there in checkerboard because they want to have silvers going in, or did he not read ahead, or I don't know where it's located to see that it was in Saha's closet.
Well, we'll find out soon enough if he stops by Saha on his way over to Pod. But certainly, it makes the Helma fight a whole lot faster once you get his mask off.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like Silvers is over the entirety such a time save if you can get them early enough. But he's not mirroring here. Oh, he might mirror inside of the maze here. There he goes. Yeah, he's picking him up. Over the course of all the fights you do, they are quite a time save with the mimics and Helmasaur and such. And then of course Ganon. That the earlier you pick them up, the more time you save. If you're gonna go there anyway to pick them up eventually, might as well.
Oh, now that's interesting. Eastern is a pendant, but we just picked up the big key.
So maybe something in that chest they're gonna mirror over to Eastern right after they're done here.
Could be. I guess we'll see what they do. We'll see if Scruff goes for that key as well.
I think that's gonna probably be the biggest clue that we get. If Scruff goes for that key as well, then we know they need that. Well, no is a big word. It's much more likely that they need that. But if he doesn't, then I think we can say that maybe Worldwide did it to fill some time while he was waiting for his pilot to tell him for sure if he needed it or not.
So, what is Wimpy doing now? It's already been to the back.
Is he clearing them out so he can bonk himself down again? Or no, I don't know what he's doing.
I'm confused. Did he use up all his keys? And now he has to get another one? I don't think so.
ScruffNinja is doing something similar. Oh no, he's actually going further down.
Yeah, Scruff hasn't been to the back yet.
I'm gonna keep a much closer eye on Scruff's key count now to see what happens with him. Oh, well, chat points out Scruff did not open the front door while Wimpy did, so Wimpy might actually be a key short.
Right, Scruff has 2 keys left. He needs one of those keys to get to Helma, but did Wimpy use the other key on something?
Well, the front door. Yeah, he used it on well, not the front door, but the center lane.
Oh, right. Harmless Hellway was where he used the other key. Because you need that key to swamp. So that was Wimpy's problem. He had to use one key to go to the back, one key to go into Harmless Hellway, and you need a key for Helma. But since he then used a key on the front door, that left him a key short. I got it.
And as we saw, the Eastern Palace big key was not picked up by Scruff, so that might have just been a time fill while his Worldwide while his pilot was reading up.
Or it could be a safety. Could be something back there that's not required that Wimpy wants as a safety that Scruff feels he's willing to skip.
Do you think he'd go for that safety unless they had to go into Eastern Palace anyway for something else? That seems far away just for a safety.
What if it's something like the boots and, that say this isn't a boots required seed?
that's more, yeah, not really safety, more utility, but that speeds you up a lot, of course. In the meantime, Worldwide's made his way into Misery Mire. He's got the big key, so he can go to the back and clear it. But no small key, so he really has no extra room.
And Scruff taking advantage of that fire rod to get through Terrapin Room. Really doing a nice number on those Terrapins on the way to Helma King, too.
Yeah, he went through there smoothly with no light. That's I find that always very impressive to see, having practiced the dark room so much, they can go through there blind. It's a really awesome thing to see.
Now, Wimpy's in Mire with the big key. I wonder if he... Yeah, the fact that he's still here, he's just going to beat it while he's here, I assume.
Since he does have the big key and he does have silvers, that's going to be a quick fight.
Now, that's
but
interesting.
He does warp door.
And he just pulled the Hera small key.
Going back in, though. And another crystal for ScruffNinja as he takes down Helmasaur very smoothly, knocking him enough with the hammer, and then boom, one silver arrow to the head, and it's done. Oof, that hurts. That wizard hits Worldwide on his green mail, and he just went down.
They don't call Wizrobe's glass cannons for nothing.
But he is nothing if not determined. He's going back in there. And it almost happens again. Whew.
Okay, he's through that room, got a heart for his troubles. Now the question is, how well does he know Darkmire Basement?
That's a scary basement in the dark.
Yeah, that and Agate Tower are really the hardest dark rooms in the game.
A lot of things moving around. I must say, I'm also not partial to seeing some of those Desert Palace. No, not seeing Desert Palace of Darkness. I mean dark rooms. That's still even that's scary to me.
So now, do we think Scruff's gonna grab that Tower of Hera small key? Because it makes me wonder if something's in the coffee break room. No, he's going straight for the back.
He does not care. He just goes to the back. He's going. There seems to be someone. Oh no, he's going anyway.
Well, ooh, Wimpy is down to one heart and he's gonna mirror. I did say it's a really tough dark room. Scruff's in there too, trying to figure out where to put that block.
Gotta find that button, then you gotta get that block directly on there. Oof.
Yeah, I wonder what horrible location the lamp's in that the runners aren't bothering to get it.
In another race that we saw earlier this week, well, yesterday, we had route divergence between the two teams where one actually went and picked up the lamp just to give himself that comfort. It wasn't really out of the way though. They didn't lose much time, and I think they gained all that time back just from how smoothly you can go through dark rooms with that lamp. But if it's hidden away...
Here, Wimpy's in Hype Cave.
And there's that lamp.
And again, you know, just like rescuing the old man, given how long Scruff's taking here, and he's down to one heart now, it might have been faster for both of them to pick up that lamp before they went to Mire.
I feel like it would have been fast. It would have saved them more time just before going to either Mire or Palace of Darkness. Now they both did Palace. Well, no. Scruffy did Balsadar is very smoothly in the dark, but even then it would save him time, especially now with what he's doing over there.
And he's using up most of his magic on the cape rather. I
But
wonder
he has made it
actually.
past the Samaria room anyway, so he's almost there.
So I guess just seeing him quick swap through there, I guess he never grabbed the powder out of Sanctuary.
Indeed, he did not. Yeah. Our tracker also doesn't show that he doesn't have it, so I guess that's just not needed. And he misses the toss on the crystal switch.
Well, I'm just saying it would be a nice safety, and it was right there, because there are plenty of anti-fairies that you can powder here.
That's a good point. He just that one. That would have saved him.
Yeah. And it wasn't even out of the way. Oh, and thanks to our tracker Kono Tyran for also giving us a sub here.
I think you are the second.
Yeah, I think like the first 10 subs get that nice little first icon.
It's all about being first, eh? Now, in the meantime, Wimpy has made his way into Swamp Palace because they did pick up that small key. And Scruff has made his way to Ice Palace, but he bought some more arrows there, so I'm wondering, did he just want that refill? He actually just wanted the refill and the extra arrows.
And he's going for a potion. I don't blame him. Oh, he wanted to refill his magic before he actually bought the potion. That makes sense, too.
He does have 2 bottles, though.
So back into Mire for Scruff, and it's a bit surprising that for all those detours he didn't go and just get the lamp.
Maybe his paladin isn't checking for the lamp and he's just telling him go.
Could be, but if I'm in Scruff's shoes, I'm asking my pilot how far out of the way is the lamp.
That's a good point. Because yeah, if you can, it's in Hype Cave. It's really not that far out of the way. It would definitely save them way more time than it's costing them. And this is for both players. They both made these similar choices. Now, Wimpy has now picked up the lamp in Hype Cave. That's why we know it's there. But before that, similar problems in Mire for him.
A nice diver down there for Wimpy. So something on left side swamp here.
I see a lot of players, most racers do the diver down by jumping in and then out again. I learned it by just doing the movement. I wonder, is this just easier, faster? Do you have experience with both of them, or do you also just do this way?
So I've never learned diver down, but my understanding is if you jump in and jump out, it puts you on the right pixel. So it makes things faster. Oh, and for all that, Wimpy didn't even need to do the switch. But, you know, most people aren't thinking about spoiler log, that if you only need the left item on left side, you don't need to do all that funny business with the switch to begin with.
That's a fair point. That's where muscle memory, of course, plays part, because they're so used to doing it that way that they might not think about that in the moment.
So Scruff is now on Vitreous.
Yeah, those silver arrows making quick work of that boss. Easy.
You love to see it.
And that's crystal number 4.
Wow, yeah, he's really racking them up. So
Yeah. For every crystal that Scruff has, other than Tower of Hera, Wimpy has been there to or close to the boss, but has always backed out. So that's gonna cost him a bit of time routing all those back in to get those crystals.
And Scruff, now having gotten the Desert Big Key, is just going straight to the back of Desert, except that he mirror bonks.
Yep, you hate to see it.
But between the Fire Rod and the Silvers, he is going to have no trouble with Landmos.
Probably if we can get a 1 cycle, I'm hoping. I always love to see those. Yes, where are those boots at? That is a very good question, chat. I would love to know as well.
But yeah, I think Scruff is in. I mean, sure, they were in go mode as soon as their pilots, started reading the log. But in terms of what items he needs, he's in go mode except for GT Big Key.
If I have a quick look over it, they've got Swamp Palace. They've got what they need. They've got. We don't need for Ice Palace, but.
Right, I'm assuming he'll just do Icebreaker and Ice Palace.
Yeah, probably. I mean, they've got the red game. Seems fairly straightforward. He's actually using the Fire Rod instead of the Silver Arrows, of course, with the fast casting.
Yeah, if you have enough magic, the Fire Rod is a lot faster than the Silver Arrows, just because the Silver Arrows have so much lag.
Now, Wimpy making his way back to Palace of Darkness, so he's gonna go pick up his crystal there. And this is a bit of a chase now because he's gonna need to catch those up. He's got a little bit of stuff done in Swamp Palace, where he got his second crystal now, which Scruff is gonna go probably do, seeing where he's running. But I personally don't think that Wimpy will be able to get all those bosses caught up by the time that Scruff catches up on Swamp Palace.
Yeah, it does seem unlikely. So remind me, what did Wimpy get from Left Side Swamp?
He got a big key. I think that's the Ganon's Tower big key that he picked up there.
Oh yeah, I see it on his tracker now. Right, so Scruff is gonna have to go over there.
Would be weird if he didn't. Wait, he's in Eastern Palace though. I was thinking for a moment, that's not Palace of Darkness.
Well, he picked up that big key. Okay.
That's Blue Million first chest. I would do that too. That is a nice safety to have.
But he didn't need the big key for that, so it still leaves the question open. What was he going to do with that big key?
I think he was just filling time while his pilot was thinking where to send him, considering he had used that extra small key.
That could be.
Yeah, the pilot's plan suddenly changed with that extra key being used, so he's like, okay, hold on a moment. And what do you do as a runner if you hold on a moment? And there's chests right there. You go get those chests.
Now, we did see a heart container in the back of Swamp, so I wonder if Scruff will get that to improve his health at least.
Wimpy's gonna make his way much smoother through the back of this place, though, because he does have that lamp for himself. Wait, no, I'm thinking of the back of Eastern Palace, not Palace of Darkness.
No, the back of pod, the lamp also helps quite a bit.
Oh yeah, there it is. The big difference being that in Eastern Palace, there's much more of those dangerous enemies that you need to kill very specifically, while here there's mostly just the turtles. That room that he's in right now, that's the one that scares me the most for it to do in the dark. If I were to want to practice this, because you hit them and then, all right, where did they go?
Oh yeah, Scruff used the fire rod in that room when he went through there.
No, he's not even killing those. He's saving the animals. Well, the ones he didn't kill.
And Scruff gets that GT big key as Wimpy only has a few more hits to get that mask off. 1 silver to the forehead.
Ooh, no, 2 silvers, 3. There's the hit. And Scruff's not gonna head straight to the back. So that's most of Swamp Palace done, with 1 crystal caught up from Wimpy.
Yeah, so this is going to be Scruff's 6th, and Wimpy just got his 3rd.
Wait a minute. We saw Scruff going to the back of Desert Palace before. But what did he actually do
yeah,
there?
he did finish Landmos. That should be on his tracker.
Yeah, because his tracker is not updated for Desert Palace. I was wondering, like, this should be his last crystal, right? And there it is.
Oh, so Wimpy's doing ice. Now, with half magic and a magic bottle, it should be possible to... I should say a bottle of blue goo. It should be possible to just do cold stare on fire rod shots.
So those potions, they're actually goo, you say?
That's what we call them. I think
That
that's
might
even
take
what
so
it
long.
says if it's on pedestal, like, and the blue goo sleeps again forever.
Oh. That sounds not pleasant to drink then. But rather Ling than me. I mean, that just sounds unpleasant if they have the consistency of goo. Then no thanks. And Wimpy's setting up the diver down. Oh, no, not diver down. The icebreaker. I mean, the door state extension over there in the icebreaker room. While Scruff is making quick work of Arthas. Gus, I mean.
Okay. Wimpy didn't quite get it.
Chat's really going with the goo discussion. They're wondering what kind of consistency is it really, and I'm invested as well. I want to know.
Well, I mean, the green goo clearly has spirulina in it, right? Gotta have something healthy to restore your magic.
And what? So you got some apple juice in the red one. The apple is not red enough though. No, cherry. And then we just mix it good together. Because green plus red makes blue, right? I
don't know how that works in color theory. Oh, there's our tempered sword from that chest in Ice Palace. I have to assume that Scruff will grab it as well, since it'll be right on the way if he does Icebreaker, and it saves a huge amount of time on Ganon.
I can't imagine he doesn't do Icebreaker. Icebreaker. He has the rod that he needs, so he can just go right through there. And that's actually, this is his last dungeon now, so this is a pretty substantial lead that he's been building up over time with following Wimpy into Ice Palace. But of course, this is his last, while Wimpy has Desert Palace, Skull Woods, and Misery Mire to catch up on.
Oh, by the way, seeing chat, I just realized, since this isn't speed gaming, I can say it. Suck it, Ack. I've wanted to say that on the air for a while.
I can bet that feels good. I don't know why you want to say it specifically to Ag, but just in general, if something like that weighs on you, it feels good to say that.
But anyway, there goes Cold Stare. Much easier with that Tempered Sword.
Yeah, one of the eyes got away from him, but he made quick work of it. Scruff having some trouble getting that sword buffer to make his movement only one frame.
Okay, yeah. Well, he was having trouble getting the first part to kind of stick against the wall before you put the block down. Once he had the block down, he was fine. And yes, Scruff is definitely getting the... No, he ran away.
Maybe, did they miss the Tempered Sword? I kind of... Or maybe they're saying, hey, no, we're so far ahead. Because, of course, with this pilot race, they're allowed to see each other's screens. Maybe he's saying, no, we're so far ahead, man. Let's make it interesting. That's a bit of a dangerous move. I mean, they do have substantial lead, but that's playing with fate. But he went back for it.
Yeah, it's just such a huge time save for the rest of the game, even if this is already your 7th crystal.
Now, chat makes an interesting point. What do you think of this? That they should have routed Ice Palace first, considering the Tempered was there before Swamp Palace.
Yeah, that probably would have sped up the first stage of Argus. And I mean, I also liked, you know, I don't know why Wimpy didn't do this at the outset, but given where the blue mail was sitting, I mean, kind of like the lamp in Hype Cave, you know, you wonder why they didn't just grab it.
Yeah, going from blue to red is nice, but going from green to blue, that's a huge difference in the amount of damage you take. And especially if you have so little amount of hearts, and it's sitting there in that first chest of Eastern Palace. Yeah.
So this will be Scruff's 7th crystal, which means we have a game we like to play. If you guessed left side swamp for the GT Big Key, you're right.
And I know that only the most sadistic players will have guessed that, so you all win.
Okay, and Wimpy's now down here in Mire, so he will be getting his 5th crystal shortly. Easy mirror to get to the back of Desert, and then he just has to deal with Moth. Oh, now that's interesting. Scruff did not have enough money for a blue potion, so he just grabbed a green. And remember, he does not have that powder that Wimpy has out.
Yeah, that powder is definitely very useful inside of Ganestar. There's lots of anti-fairies to heal up on. And he also didn't pick up that blue, despite that lead. That surprised me a little bit, that he didn't, with that lead, that he didn't spend the time. Quickly go over to Eastern. It's not that much time lost.
Yeah, no, he's living life on the edge. We'll see if it pays off for him, or if Wimpy winds up catching up.
7 hearts green mail. Oh man, I would not, for the life of me, want to do this. Chat pointing out there may be an easy mail upgrade in Ganon Tower.
Chat
And
also pointing out he still has 1 blue potion from the last time he stocked up.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. And he got his Misery Mire key done easily with the increased power of his sword, the silver arrows, and that lamp most of all.
But the other thing is, with this many hearts in green mail, Ganon's a 1-hit KO.
Does he do 7 hearts of damage?
He does 8 with green mail.
8, that is madness.
Yeah, 6 with red mail, so Wimpy can withstand a hit.
And what is blue mail damage?
Sorry,
on
blue
Ganon
mail.
the same?
Sorry, I misspoke. 6 with blue mail. And then 4 with red mail.
That's from Ganon himself, right? His fire bats do a little bit less, I think.
Yeah, the fire bats do less. I don't offhand remember.
I remember from an earlier seed I played today that with red mail they deal 3. Or did I have blue mail? Man, all these games are hard to keep apart.
It might be a 4-3-2 for the fire bats, which is half of Ganon Hug damage and also the same as Cold Stare Puff damage.
You can really see the difference in when they have more health. Scruff being very careful there to not take the usual route that people take over those spikes without a care in the world. He's being very conservative with his health.
And Wimpy gets crystal number 6, and now he just has to have that second encounter with Moth. And hope that 7 hearts and blue mail is enough.
I think it will be. I think he can get his revenge, and if not the race, at least he'll sleep easy that he won't have left Mothula alive. Yeah, I agree with what Chat is saying. What Grindy McGrindy is saying specifically, that those deaths, that's the big difference in the time that we have here of Scruff being in Ganon's tower with Wimpy catching up on those bosses, because there were 3 bosses that Wimpy came close to but didn't do, and is now catching up, plus all the time lost of those deaths.
Scruff grabs that precious, precious heart before exiting the room.
He can barely afford not to, making good use of that hook shot and then quick swapping back to the bow. This room, I do not like this room.
And that's Stalfos just doesn't want to cooperate.
And like you said there, there's another thing he could have used his magic powder on.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him after the race why he didn't just grab the powder.
Yeah, that's because it's right there in Sanctuary. But he gets a nice 1 cycle on Landmost too.
And
here we
he
go,
pairs through the Gibdo room.
Fight of the Century. Mothula.
Ah, that Wizrobe quick kill always feels nice.
It's one of the first things that I learned after watching these streams, and I love doing it. It's so satisfying.
And down goes Moth, and that is Wimpy's 7th crystal.
Yeah, that was very smooth fight against Mothula, and now he can make his way to Ganon's tower as well. Now I'm wondering, I mean, this race can still go either way.
Scruff, you don't have any keys. I don't know how you're planning on getting out of this room.
He needs 1 more key. Oh no!
Oh, he could just go back to the mini Helmas. He didn't kill them, but it was just kind of funny that he, skipped the mini Helmas when he needed another key.
I just had a heart attack there. Oh my god. Yeah, this race is not over. Depending on how well Wimpy does doing the gauntlet up the tower, if Scruff gets hit by Ganon and dies, then that just mixes it all up and it can go either way again. Yeah, maybe it will need at least 2 deaths to even this up, but it's like with
Hey,
Greenmail and 7 hearts, that can happen.
vanilla post Moldorm chest, but had to pick it up for the memes. Or maybe just as a safety, if worst comes to worst and he doesn't make it through the Aga 2 fight, at least he can skip Moldorm by hookshotting to the chest. But
Does
that
that
would
chest
be horrible,
disappear?
and, you
Does
know.
the chest disappear if you don't open it?
Correct. If you leave the screen and haven't opened the chest disappears.
I learn something new every race I watch. So we've got 3 hits on Aga now, if I count it correctly. That should be 5.
Yep.
And 6. Nice. Okay, so the difference is currently an entire Ganon's tower. As Scruff gets teleported to the pyramid to go fight Ganon, Wimpy is entering.
Oh, and remember what I said about bootless seeds and quality of life? And we were discussing that. But with Wimpy now going upstairs, we can tell you that those boots were in Rando Room.
Rando room. That's a lot of time spent just for those boots, I think.
And in any case, the runners had to do the entire seed to that point without boots. No choice.
Of course, the cape makes it a lot easier that makes it a lot safer. You don't need any special mail if you don't get hit. And he's got plenty of potions to refill his magic, so at any point that he could be in danger, he can just have that cape out and no problem. And with phase 2 ended, I think that's one of the most dangerous points.
Yeah, I mean, he just has to not take a Ganon hug, and he's got it.
Misses the fire glitch, but that shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, nice double.
Get the double. Is there a trick to getting doubles? Because I have not been able to do that.
Line up and shoot fast.
I guess. So I just gotta practice being faster. And that's the race. As long as he doesn't jump off, let's get some GGs in chat for Scruff. And of course his pilot, whose name I actually don't have right now.
That's Tabby Cat, by the way, Scruff's
Tabby
pilot.
Cat. So GG's for Scruff and Tabby Cat on this wonderful race. Awesome.
And he has an official race time, as you see on his screen, 1:05:56.
All our worries of low hearts and green mail. What were we thinking? He has cape. They had this all planned out.
So let's see if we can get him in here.
That was a bit longer of a land mode 2 fight for Wimpy in the meantime, though. Getting that 3 cycle, I think it was. All things aside, he is making a smooth way up that tower. Ah, man, and that hallway without boots, it feels bad.
Hey, we have MrScruffNinjaTuna here. GG's.
GG.
GG, man.
So you didn't want that powder just to make things more interesting, right?
To be fair, Tabby didn't tell me about the powder until I was already close to GT.
Oh, and we also have Tabby in here with us, right? We interview the pilots as well. It's been a while since we've done spoiler races. So GG's Tabby.
Thanks.
GG's, Debbie.
Yeah, I completely forgot about the powder. She was like, "Oh, by the way, we have powder in Sanctuary." As I'm like killing Cold Stare, like, "Oh, okay, well I'll go just grab it." And I thought to myself, "No, I better go get some green potion in case I screw up the torch glitch," which I did anyway, but I had full magic at least.
Because it sure made Meyer Basement interesting for you.
Yeah, freaking!
Yeah.
I love that I was stressed out as all get out during the first portion. Couldn't get that block. Got through with 1 heart, died because I'm a doofus that can't hit the up button, and then I go back, do it the first try, and get back with full health.
Hey, whatever works, right?
Exactly. And to answer that question in chat, I skipped the lamp because I completely forgot that it was in Hype Cave.
No, that's not the reason. The reason is because he has actively and completely... He's an avid skipper of the lamp.
Fair.
Like
I won't go out of my way for silvers, but I will skip the lamp every chance I get.
In a Plando, he planted the lamp so he wouldn't get it. That's like, he has done that. So
it's not about life. It's about sending a message.
Oh, by the way, that was a really nice triple on Aga2 on Wimpy's side.
Yeah, the race
Ooh,
is
very
over on one side, but Wimpy's going for the finish, and he did that nice triple to finish off Aghanim and going into Ganon right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him bonus points for that really nice Aga2 because mine was just pathetic. Not as bad as XC Jetters, which, by the way, if you guys missed that race yesterday, you can go ahead and check out the VOD on the ALTTPR League video list.
wasn't there, dude. They'd have to go to his channel, which you should, because he's
that's
awesome.
Right, that's right.
Usually,
the
like whenever
freaked out.
he like tries to kill me.
I think that race was restreamed yesterday.
It started.
It was.
Oh, right. That was the one that got cut halfway through, right?
Yep, the stream was acting all poopy.
Yeah.
This whole thing, whenever it started and Scruff was like, something's wrong with my stream, and I was like, no, just keep going. He's like, no, dude, something's wrong. I can't get anything. I can't do anything like with this. I have to fix this now, right now. And I was like, oh god damn it. I mean, dang it.
Yeah, thankfully I had the enabled background inputs on, so I was able to kind of like mosey around somewhat blind. Oof.
Oh, and Wimpy just takes a fire back to the head, unfortunately.
Yeah, he had a bit of trouble. He was low on magic, and he has no potions.
And without the boots, he also can't just bonk that tree to get the fairy.
Oh, those boots were just evil.
Yeah, I didn't really think you were going for them.
Oh, no. I was contemplating getting that armor out of Eastern, but again, I was like, no.
Yeah, Wimpy went for it.
I don't blame him.
It
I
was
don't
the first
blame him
Jesse
either.
right there.
Right? That was kind of my idea. I was like, which do I want to worry about? The 5-second dip into Eastern for that, or the mail, or like the 5-second dip into the dark basement to get that extra heart?
Yeah, what we were talking about the entire time was because I really, I mean, I'm not going to have 8 hearts. 8 hearts is, my limit for green mail. And I go, no, you can do this. I mean, this is, at that point, I wasn't even watching though. I thought we were still way behind because of what happened earlier. So I was like, I'm just gonna route you the best way I know how, and I know your skill set, and I know you can do it.
Making wonderful use of that cape.
Oh, to touch up on something real quick, because I just saw this in chat, stating that it's a skill set that people don't work on very often. Like, communication is a big factor. And yeah, it really is. I mean, your pilot is there to go ahead and get you the best route, but talk with them, to be like, okay, you're routing me this way, what do we got, where are we going? I think it's better for me if I do it this way, because your running abilities best. So if your pilot puts you somewhere that you don't want to be, talk to him.
Yeah, we just usually with us two, for example. I mean, we've done tons of co-op and a lot of other things too, and we both been in the spoiler log tournament and all of this. So, reading the spoiler log, knowing where chests are, that's kind of a thing that we know. And then when say if a runner goes to the wrong chest, typically we've probably told them, hey, it's this chest, but something might have happened.
And I think that's also what you're talking about. Is kind of what happened early on in Skull Woods. Wimpy was put in a situation that was not comfortable for him, and I'm assuming he ducked and he backed out and came back from Mothla later while you were killing him there. And Wimpy has joined us here now. GG's, Wimpy.
Dead rocks and cabbages are jerks.
I agree.
We noticed.
Everyone agrees, I think.
What was that? 3 times in a row trying to get over to Dark Death Mountain, they got in my way and killed me?
Freaking dead rocks, man.
Oh, and by the way, Ben Creighton, I see you're in chat. If you want to join us in here as well as Wimpy's pilot, you are welcome to do so.
I was also super ballsy in doing things. Like, I went in lampless into Mire, was like, I'll give it a try, and died. I was like, okay, no big deal.
Same. I got on that one room because I could not get that block to save my life.
I got the block, but then a fire spitter got me.
Oof.
Been there.
But that was definitely super interesting. But yeah, that was rough. What was that? 4 mountain climbs we had to make before we could do anything? Something like that?
Right.
It was.
Let's see.
Yeah.
We had to go all freaking over, man. It was nuts.
Well, once I heard where the Titansmiths were, I'm like, okay, well, where's Cape? Oh, it's in Bridge in Skullwoods. Okay, well, where's the mirror at? Oh, it's up here. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I gotta go get that first.
What we ended up, we got our cape. We had some technical difficulties. If you scroll up in the chat, we did. And so we had like 2 to 3 minutes where we were trying to fix the technical difficulties. But yeah, like, hey, let's go to the mountain. Hey, let's go back. Okay, let's go to the mountain again. Okay, let's go back. Let's go to the mountain a 3rd time. Okay, let's go back. Okay, let's go to the mountain a 4th time. Let's go back.
Yeah. It was completely necessary because you had to go get that hammer once you did Death Mountain, to then go Hera, to then climb back down, to go get Cape, to get Titansmiths, to then go back up the mountain to get the mirror, to then... So...
Yeah. That was just nuts.
And I was dealing with technical difficulties on my end too. My controller is starting to feel the age of nearly 1,000 seeds, so...
Oh no.
My up and right are starting to stick. So, icebreakers now become difficult to do.
Oh, that's
buffer and icebreaker, because that one actually will help you a little bit, because it's not that up and right or anything like that. It's not an actual direction on your D-pad. It's just sword buffer back and forth, and then you're like, yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I usually pause buffer with it, and if I don't get it the first time, I'm usually able to move a specific way to get it to where I don't have just a 1 pixel move across. But yeah, so much stuff is predicated on up and right that my up was already going, and I've opened up my controller to move the pad, and it's the best place for me to have it. And now the right's starting to go, so I'm just like, well, great. I hope my controller comes soon.
Yeah, I gotta be a whole lot kinder on my A button here. This poor thing is like so freaking, like, I barely tap it and it like sinks right in.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I'm sorry for hurting you.
That's the sensor inside, yeah. But yeah, otherwise this was a pretty generous seed with sword locations. It could have been way worse with swords deep in pendant dungeons or something.
Oh yeah. I mean, the way the stuff was set is if you were like 100% comfortable with doing a super low percentage, you didn't even need to set foot into any pendant dungeon whatsoever.
Yeah, I just grabbed the armor just to say, oh, I'll do it just in case.
It would have saved me time.
Speaking of super low, that 53 collection rate is insane. I mean, even for a regular spoiler log race, if you had your own spoiler log and had 15 minutes to study it, 53 is a really low collection rate.
I wonder what mine was. Hold on, me.
We'll see in just a moment.
Yeah. Scruff is really easy to work with, so it makes things really easy for the pilot whenever you have like Scruff and Jetters both insanely easy to work with. So it's like, yeah, let's go.
That is a lie. We are the worst to work with.
You both like to give me heart attacks, but that's about it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like-
Ben got me through Kakariko, and then as I'm going, okay, check this because this is where I'm heading next. Just read me off what I need, where it's at, and I'll grab it. So mine should be
I
relatively
don't
low.
pay attention to CAC at all. So what I do is they will be like, hey, guess what? I found Fire Rod. Hey, I found Ether. Hey, I found this. And I'm like, so you don't need to look for them now. And I'm like, all right, well, I know where you're going next. So as soon as we get you out of here.
Nice.
Wait, where was Red Meringue?
That was in Mini Moldorm, I think. Or no, that was in Sastra's closet.
Nope, that was a map.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to remember.
Maybe it was Mini.
But
it was in Paradox Cave upper left. I didn't tell you to go that way. So you didn't get it.
Dare you? I missed out on my.
Oh wait, you had a hook shot. You were fine.
Yeah, but I like my Red Meringue.
that's where I got my second bottle. Was there?
Nice.
selection.
That's I think maybe worth half a point at least. Just get
Right?
that collection rate.
You did a great Agatu fight there, Wimpy, and then you end with a collection rate of 69. That's excellent.
It is.
That
Gotta be
Agatu fight
bland.
was a jerk. He spread himself out super early. I'm like, you jerk.
Mine was terrible. I think mine was like a 1-0-1-2-1.
Mine was 1-0-2-3, I think. It might have been an extra 0. I think I either 4 or 5 faced it, but the first 2 spreads were like, okay, I'm getting 1 on this. There's nothing more I can do. But I did end it with a triple, so.
Nice. That's way better than what Jetters did yesterday. Oh boy.
We're just gonna keep dragging Jetters like the entire time.
I will. That was a terrible Agatu fight. It's god awful.
We love you, Jetters. We really do.
I died in the back of Skullwoods getting the second key to go kill Mothula because worms are jerks and have terrible RNG whenever I race. And then
Agreed.
I had 8 total deaths in this seed, which just set me back. It's just like, whatever.
Moth, during my first Moth fight, he was being a butt and hugging that corner. I was like, all right, I've got half magic. I've got this fire rod. I'm good. It stayed in that corner, and I couldn't get a
Upper
single
left?
shot in. Yeah,
No,
no,
it
it
was
was upper right this time.
Okay.
And it kept like bouncing back and forth. It's like, you get out of there right now.
Yeah, basically he kept he had it bounce on one side and then it bounced on the other, and it's like we couldn't do any damage to it. I think he pumped like 16 fire rod shots into it and he couldn't get it to die.
And then I forgot I needed another pod key to go to the back, so I'm like, oh, where's pod keys? Oh, 2 are in Meyer. Well, I guess I know where I'm going now.
Ew, 2 were in Meyer? Ugh.
Yeah.
You didn't need those, Scruff, because I routed you the one in Paradox and
Yeah.
however I routed it, yeah, you got them.
If
Not
I
only that-
didn't go straight up the middle, if I
Yes.
went right, I wouldn't have needed it. But I was like, okay, 3 smalls. There's something
Oh.
in pod that I needed to grab. There's other keys probably in my route I'll grab later.
Wimpy
Smart.
was not able to finish it in his first go in there because he couldn't get into the back because he was missing a key for that.
Right, because you needed
Oh.
that extra key for Harmless Hellway.
I was wondering about that. Tabby had mentioned she had noticed you guys going back into pod, and she's like, "Wait, why do they go back into pod? They didn't
Because
finish it on the first
I went the
route."
quickest route to get the stuff in the back. That's why.
And-
Yep.
And that's actually where the biggest time difference came from. You cleared Skullwoods when you were there. You cleared Pod when you were there. You cleared Misery Mire when you were there. Wimpy went all those places as well, but had to go back to go kill the bosses. And that time, is what got you ahead, and that was literally one GT tower, one Gannis tower difference in time.
Yep, that's what it was there. And I gotta say, I owe all of that to Tabby Cat's routing, because her like key routing is just perfect.
I don't think my routing, the routing with what we had was bad. I had 8 deaths. That sucks.
Yeah, and that kind of stuff. I gotta give you props, man, for not getting tilted past that, because like one death in Mire like completely sent me off the deep end. So you being able to keep
I died
your
twice
cool,
in Mire.
Yeah.
props to you, dude.
It went from, okay, this is where you have to go. I'm concentrating. Don't talk to me.
Yep.
No,
well, and also
because
you guys both tried the super low level moth fight.
I didn't even reach it. That was a problem. Is that when I got the small key off the Gibdo, the freaking worm bounced the right way and hit me as I was going to go get the key, and I died. I was like, really great, fantastic, that's great, thanks.
I hate those freaking worms.
Yeah, most of my deaths were just the randomness of cabbages, dead rocks, and mini moldorms. That was it. Everything else was like, oh, okay, that's fine. I tried something low percentage. I ended up dying. No big deal. That doesn't get me angry.
Hey, with all the bad luck out of the way, you should go buy a lottery ticket.
No, this is a PB for me in any setting, so.
Oh. Well, congrats on that, man. Good job.
It's by a couple minutes, but that's okay.
And yeah, like despite all that, you probably saw the dot done maybe, you saw it on stream, and you kept going. You finished it, and that's still a really good time. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that time.
No, if you were to ask me, hey, before this race, if you get a sub 120, do you think you're in this race? I would say yes, and we were in the race. So if I get a little bit better RNG and get a little bit more fortunate, maybe it's close to a tie. Maybe I win. Who knows?
Never give up. Never surrender.
Unless I've got 3 crystals and they dot done, then I'm just like, okay, I was dumb today.
Well, GG's once again, man. I gotta jump off because I need to go ahead and get some dinner prep going. But GG's.
Same to you.
GG all racers and
GFNG.
pilots.
And so here we have up our schedule for the next couple of days. We don't have restreams decided particularly, other than we have that 10 p.m. restream tonight, featuring our restreamer for this race, Ricky of Kokiri, who will be going against Danny Music. So come back for that in 2 hours. And of course, there will be plenty more races the rest of this week. We also have a ton of invitational races coming up, so definitely check our schedules here. Thanks again to the racers and their pilots. MrScruffNinjaTuna piloted by Tabby Cat and Worldwide Wimpy piloted by Ben Creighton.
And also thank you to Chrono Tyrant that did such a great job tracking all those keys all over the place. It takes an immense amount of focus, and he does it so cleanly every time. Amazing.
And thank you again to Ricky for restreaming this race. We can't broadcast these races to you without restreamers, and it's really quite a bit of setting up on their part, so we're incredibly grateful that they're able to do this for us.
And also thank you all for watching and commentating in the chat as well. It's always nice to have a bit of a back and forth between us and you guys of course amongst yourself. So thank you very much, and this is Rive. See y'all next time.